Hi, thanks for joining in. My name is Ashley. Today is the weekend, it is Lao New Year, and I need to clean. So this is actually my first video, so hello. My name is Ashley, and I'm a 20-something girl living in San Francisco, California with my partner. Been living and working here for a little under 3 years, I think. Yeah, and I love it here. I hope to do cozy slice of life content, and I've always just wanted to try this creative endeavor, so yeah, that's why I'm here. I've always wanted to have something to look back over time, so I hope this will be fun. Okay, so for context of my apartment, I live in a pretty small apartment, which is pretty normal for the city, I think. So it's around 600 to 700 square feet. I might have to fact check that, but it's around that. So it's not a huge endeavor to fully clean the apartment, but I do admit that I like to procrastinate sometimes. So I tend to put it off a little. But since it's the weekend and I'm free, it's a great time to just do some cleaning around the house. And note that I'm definitely not a clean freak person. I actually do prefer a little more lived-in style. I think having places too clean just is a little too uninviting. So yeah, just forewarning, you won't see things sparkly clean. I'm more just tidying up and going through my usual cleaning processes. And also, it is Lao New Year, which is my favorite holiday, favorite season. Technically, it's between April 13th through 15th or 14th through 16th, depending on who you ask in the moon patterns of the year. Yeah, during this time, I love just opening my home to fresh new opportunities. It's a tradition that I've done since growing up, so yeah, happy to take that with me with my adult life. So let's get cleaning. But before all the cleaning, I'm going to start with my weekend morning routine. Since it's the weekend, I like to sleep in, and Saturdays are really my only chance to in a normal week. I also like to make breakfast. I usually don't eat breakfast in the morning, so this is like a little treat for me. I am in love with almost any potato food, so I love crispy hash browns coupled with scrambled eggs. Here I'm just meandering around the kitchen, my partner figuring out what to do in our small kitchen. Side note, because of the egg shortage, we had no eggs for so long, but we recently managed to get to Costco and buy 2 of the big packages of eggs, so I've been feeling very egg wealthy lately. I also love a good matcha. I make a matcha daily. I switched over from coffee to tea over the years, so I still love coffee, so making a matcha isn't unique to the weekend, but it's a cherished part of my morning routine as of late as well. Now, I'm not a matcha expert, but this is just kind of the routine that I take to make a matcha latte on the daily. So we've mixed our matcha, heated up the milk. Honestly, sometimes I don't even heat the milk. Room temperature is fine with me. But yep, pouring in the matcha, and then I also add some honey usually to sweeten it up. And that's breakfast. And now for the actual cleaning. So for the first task, we have washing the dishes, mainly because we accumulated a good amount of dishes for making breakfast this morning, so I just wanted to get this out of the way. Like I mentioned earlier, we don't have a huge home, so we don't have a huge kitchen either. If I don't do the dishes once or twice a day, I feel like it really starts building up and it's a little hard to do things like cook for lunch or dinner later. I also started wearing dishwashing gloves recently. I used to not wear them and let my hands get all dry after washing dishes, but I've been trying to take better care of my nails as a form of self-care, so just wanted to protect them a little bit more. And usually I have a show or YouTube video playing in the background while I do dishes because admittedly I do get a little bored when there's a lot of dishes to do. But sometimes, like here, I'm just mindfully focusing on the task at hand and just taking the day in, especially since it's mid-morning on the weekend and the day's just getting started. So once I'm done washing the dishes, I just like to wipe down the areas that have accumulated all the water and also wipe down just dirty tabletops and stuff, just to keep it a little bit tidy and clean. The next thing that I usually like to get out of the way early is laundry. I think laundry is probably one of my most favorite chores, if I had to pick one. Um, I do it every week just because I like having clean clothes and the clothes that I like being clean throughout the week. So just need to gather the clothes and also put it in the laundry. I'm very fortunate that we have an in-unit laundry. I think that's a little rare in San Francisco, so definitely cherish that. But yeah, I do the laundry for both me and my partner. So there's a decent amount every week, nothing too bad, but it's nice doing it every week just so it doesn't accumulate too much. I usually just do one load every week, usually just colored or like normal basic clothes. I really only separate clothes between colored and white. So usually whites are once every few weeks, nothing too often. So yeah, nothing too crazy. I also like to do the laundry early just so I can start it and then let it run in the background while I do other stuff around the house. So that's always a nice start to weekend mornings. Next up is the bathroom. I'll be honest, I think the bathroom can definitely use a deeper cleaning, but for now, I'm just kind of wiping down regularly used surface areas and such, like the sink and just the countertops around the area. We have a very, very small bathroom, so there's nothing too much here in this little corner. I really should do a deep cleaning of like the shower and the toilet, but honestly that takes up a lot of my energy and I did not want to deal with that this weekend, so that was going to be rescheduled for another day. For now, just doing my best with our light cleaning here. Brief dusting transition as we go into dusting and vacuuming. Vacuuming is a task that I feel like I usually try to have it done once a week during like a good time, but sometimes it does end up being like once every 2 weeks. And it's honestly not that bad. Our apartment, like we never let dust or anything get super piled up where it's like grimy or disgusting. But I think since we're both Asian, we do tend to like shed a lot of our hair just randomly. I have very thick hair, so that tends to build up the most. But yeah, it's mostly just getting rid of hair. Our apartment is also pretty small enough, so we almost don't have to like unplug and replug our vacuum into different outlets to get the whole house, which is super convenient. Makes it a lot easier. And now for the main reason why I wanted to clean this weekend, cleaning our altar. So every Lao New Year season, you're supposed to clean your altars and any Buddha statues that you have in your house, or just at your local temple. Since I'm living away from my family and temple, I wanted to keep in touch with my roots in this way. I have a few items gifted to me by my parents and the monks from my home temple, so I made a little altar in our apartment for them. The way that you clean the statues is a little more elevated than what you think of normal cleaning. I make some fragrant water by spraying some nice perfume in water, and using fresh flowers to mix it up and shake the water onto the statue. So here I am just cutting the flowers and then mixing the water. By doing this cleaning, we're welcoming in new opportunities and luck into our homes. I like to think of it as a nice way of saying thank you to the past year. And this usually is a family affair, so of course my partner needs to do it as well. We all take turns shaking water onto the statues. Ooh, okay. Well, that's that. Thank you for being here with me while I tidied up my home. As you can see, it wasn't a deep clean. Probably more on that later. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and thanks for spending time with me. See you soon.